Hello, hola, buongiorno, and salutations. I'll be your lead animator today, Zero Z Circ. Today we're talking about cartoon conspiracies. Now, would it be surprising to you if I said that I'm really dead right now? Who knows, I may actually be dead, considering I may have killed myself and left a suicide note saying, hey, if you find this, I got some files on my computer and I need you to upload them to YouTube. Here's all my information. Who knows, I may have done that. I may be dead right now. I may have recorded this 5 months ago. Think about it. Anyway, today we were talking about cartoon conspiracies. Cartoon conspiracies get on my nerves. People have such rocketing faith in cartoon conspiracies. For example, a conspiracy that the Inspector Gadget conspiracy that Dr. Claw, Mr. Claw, the Claw dude, I'm gonna call him Dr. Claw. I forgot. I'm an idiot. So the conspiracy goes that Inspector Gadget is basically a clone, not really a clone, but a robot replacement of the original Inspector Gadget. So there was an original Inspector Gadget who really got into an accident, and they say he died, but he actually lived, and he became Dr. Claw, right? So they thought, oh, Inspector Gadget died. Let's make a robot replacement of Inspector Gadget. And that's where the robot guy, Inspector Gadget, came from. I'm not explaining this well. So here we go. Inspector Gadget gets into an accident. Okay, they say he's dead, so they build a replacement Inspector Gadget, right? He becomes the new Inspector Gadget, but guess what? The original Inspector Gadget is not dead. He becomes Dr. Claw because he's mad. He's like, oh geez, dude, these guys replaced me. Well, better get revenge on this robot guy. So that's basically the whole theory. Dr. Claw is the original Inspector Gadget. That's the theory. But here's the deal. That theory is kind of a curveball because most of these cartoon conspiracies deal with everybody's dead, the person's in a coma, the show doesn't exist. I mean, like, what, the show doesn't exist as in everything's made up. There's one person imagining everyone else. For example, Rugrats. The Rugrats theory states that Angelica is imagining all of the other kids. I haven't really read up on this. I'm not reading up on this right now. I'm just pulling these off the top of my head. But I hate them. It's like people can't accept that a show is a show. They have to make up their own convoluted, be like, oh, there's something deeper here. The Illuminati, they're doing this. They're hiding in plain sight. Look further into the show. They're hiding something. It's a deeper meaning. Like, come on, like, people like make up the wildest claims. So anyway, Rugrats, it's an early 90s show. So it states Angelica's imagining all the babies. Apparently all the babies are basically dead or whatever. So Chucky had the same disease his mom had because, Chucky's mom is dead and she had a disease. Chucky had the same disease and he died. That's why his dad's always sad and fidgety, blah, 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 blah. Phil and Lil died as stillborn before they could test before they could test the gender of the kid. And don't get me on that. I hate that junk. Before they could test the gender of the kid, and they was like, we don't know if Phil's a boy or girl. So Angelica's like, well, you know what? I'm gonna imagine 2 kids. One's a boy, one's a girl. Put them, that. Tommy died, and Tommy died early or whatever, and that's why the purple-haired dad is always like making toys for the son he never had or whatever. It's a really dumb theory. Really stupid. SpongeBob theory. So this theory states that Bikini Bottom is under Bikini Atoll, the group of islands that nuclear tests were being tested at. So the theory states that Bikini Bottom is under there, And because all of the nuclear radiation that the bombs were blowing up, you know, blah blah blah, nuclear radiation, the fallout, if you will, made mutations to the undersea life. That's why there's talking sponges. That's why there's talking starfish and talking fishes. That's why, you know, there's all this junk underwater. They've mutated, gained knowledge and smartness. That's just about the gist of that theory. Very recently, I wouldn't say recently, they've been doing this for a while, the Simpsons theory that Homer is in a coma. Once again, he's in a coma and he's imagining everything. So in the fairly early season of the Simpsons, Homer, you know, goes into the hospital because he's an idiot. And next thing you know, people are like, he's in a coma because he's in the hospital, and all the junk after this episode, it's a coma dream. So basically, after this episode, or really during the whole show whatsoever, all the episodes kind of get more fantastical, more weird, more absurd episodes, more unbelievable episodes. It's because apparently he's having just coma dreams, the most wonderful dreams. Let's see, did I do Pokemon? Yeah, once again, Pokemon. Guess what? Ash is in a coma. Like, I could run down all of these, not really all of them, just throwing some of them out there. But what I want to say is, most of them just deal with the characters being in a coma, or imagining all the other characters. Like, it just, I don't know, man. It gets on my nerves. I don't know. So once again, let me just quickly run through a couple. Ash is in a coma. Courage the Cowardly Dog theory. Courage is a dog imagining everything because he's a dog and he's never seen these other people. For example, you know, I gotta get into this. The Courage the Cowardly Dog theory states that it's shown through the eyes of Courage, meaning Courage is a dog. He's never been taken anywhere out of the house. That's why he feels as though the house is in the middle of nowhere. It's the only place he's been. He's never been out of it. He knows no other houses around him. It's the only house he's been to, and it feels like the middle of nowhere. Alright, so the monsters in each episode are just normal random people because Courage is a dog. He's never seen any other people except for Muriel and Eustace. So everyone seems weird and foreign to him. Everyone has exaggerated features because he's never seen them. Like when Muriel's nephew comes, what is his name? Like Freaky Frank or something like that. Freaky Fred, I believe. Yeah, whatever. It's just a normal dude. Apparently, I don't know. He was shaving the dog all over the place. What about that two-headed quilt lady? What about Rumpelstiltskin? I don't know. It's a stupid theory. It's let's see. Edna and Nettie. Yeah, guess what? Edna and Nettie and all of the other cul-de-sac kids, they're dead. Apparently the cul-de-sac is just purgatory. I could just go, dude, you gotta look it up. There are just so many theories out there in which, hey, guess what? Guess what, kids? Your favorite cartoon characters, they're dead. They're dead in the ground. They're a cold, dead body. Or they're in a coma. Yes, they're in a coma, living off of life support, being taken off, having those good old coma death dreams. And to cap off the end of my little thing here, this wasn't really a rant. It was just me talking about, hey, you know, these cartoon conspiracies are just dumb. Like, they're always dead or in a coma. Speaking of which, this isn't really a cartoon conspiracy, but it every time I go on the internet, you'll see this. You know Final Fantasy VIII. It has the main character Squall, and it deals with, hey, guess what, kids? Squall is dead. It's the Squall is dead theory of Final Fantasy VIII. the picture that you always see on the internet is like, it's a cutscene during like the ending of the game, and it's Squall's like face, but he has, it's like his body, but he has no face. It's, although his face is like cut out, basically it's just a giant gaping hole. And the theory states that on the first disc of the Final Fantasy VIII game, when you're fighting like the evil queen or whatever her name is, she like shoots an icicle at Squall, and it hits him in the upper chest shoulder area, and then he falls off the like side of the railing, or he falls off the it's like a railing or platform. He falls off basically, and after that he wakes up in like a prison. Okay, so the theory states that, hey, guess what, Squall died right there, and the rest of the whole game, yeah, it's just a coma. I mean, it's not a coma dream, he died. All right, it's a death dream. It's him as he's falling to his death, as he's, you know, fading away, him having this entire dream of him and his team succeeding in defeating the evil witch, basically. So when he wakes up in the prison, that's, you know, his dream starting or whatever, his you know, life flashing before his eyes, what could have been in the future. So at the climax of the game, you're fighting the evil, well, you get like thrown in some time vortex or whatever. Oh no, you fight the evil queen, you beat the evil queen, and then like you're sucked into some time vortex, and Squall is stuck in like the middle of time or whatever. I don't know, I never played the game, but hey, here's what the theory states. Well, the theory states that he's dead, but here's in the actual game. So you're stuck in some time vortex, and your female love interest, whatever her name is, she had like knows magic or whatever, and she pulls you out of the time vortex, and she's like standing on this balcony at like this ball type party deal. Alright, so you get pulled out the time vortex, and you're standing with her on the balcony. Squall is standing with her on the balcony, and during the end credits, this dude with a video camera is coming around the corner, and it like, as he's coming around the corner, she comes in the frame, and just as Squall is coming in the frame, the batteries on the camera dies. So you're like, oh, is Squall there or not? What's happening? It looks like she's talking to him, but he never came in the frame. You don't know if he's talking to her or not, or she's talking to him or not. So that's another piece of evidence that goes into it. Basically, the theory states that everything that happens after disc 1, there's just stuff made up that was never mentioned in disc 1. There's just stuff that's made up that was like over the top, that was never like included in disc 1. They say disc 1 is like a more realistic type game, but once it gets to disc 2, 3, and 4, like stuff goes off the books. Like new concepts are introduced, you know, new like not new enemies, like basically new concepts, new stuff, like out there stuff that was never even thought of in disc 1. They say it's like more whatever, I'm using the word fantastical, but you know, it's out there. So they're saying, oh, it's because, you know, it's a dream, it's a dream, anything could happen in a dream. Anyway, that's the Squall is dead theory. You know, the producers of the game never came forward and said, yeah, you got it. Like, it's just a theory. I can make up a theory about anything. Like, I can make up a theory like, hey, you know Resident Evil? Yeah, it's just all a dream. Wesker never betrayed Stars. None of that ever happened. All the characters just died. Alright? That's like Resident Evil 0. Alright? Billy Cohen died in the woods when the car crashed. Rebecca Chambers and her whole team died in the woods. She never got on the train. Okay, Resident Evil 1. Guess what? You know Resident Evil 1 PlayStation 1 version where you turn the game on and it's in the hallway and it's a live action cutscene of a zombie creeping up on Chris Redfield as he's walking down the hallway and he screams like, oh, 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 and then blood gushes at the screen? Yeah, Chris Redfield died in the mansion. And, you know, Jill, Wesker, and Barry, and Joseph, they all died in the woods. Yeah, okay. It's Dream after that. Resident Evil 2. Guess what? Leon and Claire, they both died in the car crash after the tanker was trying to mow them down. Yeah. Resident Evil 3 never happened. You know why? Jill Valentine died in the woods. Resident Evil 4 never happened. You know why? Because Leon died in that car crash. And speaking of Resident Evil 4, guess what? The game turned weird. Alright? There's parasite monsters. There's giant spider monsters. There is rake monsters. Resident Evil 5 never happened. Chris is dead. Alright? Sheva, she's probably some random BSAA soldier. Guess what? Never even met Chris because Chris is dead. Alright? I could go on. Guess what? That's my theory. The Resident Evil theory. Write it down in the books. Anyway, I think you get my point on these theories. They're dumb, they're stupid. They make wild claims that are just stupid. They try to make a deeper meaning out of things, and it's, as I said just 5 seconds ago, it's stupid. It's illegitimate. The creators of the shows never legitimize any of these. They're just theories that people are like, oh yeah, that could be it. And it just constantly gets on my nerves because I just see this all over the internet. As I say, I'm a hooligan who stays on the internet. Anyway, that's it. I'm getting... Oh, dude, we're 17 minutes in. No one's watching this junk. Anyway, thanks for watching if you're watching. I'm Circ, and this is Frustration Conversation on cartoon conspiracies and some video games here and there. Other than that, everything's fine. So I'll say what I always say. Bye.